everyone. Today we'll discuss about what are options in the derivative segments and how do they work. So the objective of this session is we'll discuss what is the methodology, how options works, and what are options and how it can be used in managing the risk. We first of all will discuss what option is. Option is a type of a derivative instrument in which if you buy an option, you get the holder of the option gets a right that either he can buy a particular asset or he can sell a particular asset at an agreed price, which can be on the specified date or before the specified date. Now let me just simplify this. What does it mean? It simply means that let's assume today there is an asset, which can be any asset. Let's assume there's a share price. So I'm going, for example, let's assume today the Reliance share price is rupees 2000. So the current price of Reliance is rupees 2000. Now Mr. A is very much optimistic about Reliance, and he is of the viewpoint that it is possible that the Reliance after 1 month can go at a higher price. So what Mr. A can do is that he can buy a Reliance option. So maybe in a market there is option available. So there is other player. So one person, there is an option buyer, but obviously there has to be option seller also. So maybe Mr. B is selling an option of Reliance Industries Limited of rupees with the strike price or exercise price of rupees 2100. So what does this mean? Mr. A is buying an option from Mr. B with an exercise price of Reliance of rupees 2100. So what does this mean? He is buying and there can be two options which are there. We'll discuss that subsequently, which is if a Mr. A is buying an option to buy a Reliance price after 1 month at a price of rupees 2100, this option is called as call option. So what do you mean by this? A call option gives the holder of the option a right to buy a particular asset at the exercise price. Irrespective of whatever happened in the market, Mr. A has a right that after 1 month, he can buy the Reliance price at rupees 2100. And Mr. B is selling this option. Mr. B in options language is also called as a writer of the option. Mr. B is selling an option. What is the option is selling? That anyone can buy Reliance share from Mr. B at a price of rupees 2100. Now Mr. A is buying an option, therefore he must pay some price. That price which Mr. A pays to Mr. B is called as the premium of the option. So Mr. A will pay a certain premium right now to Mr. B, and if by paying this premium he has got an option. So let's assume a premium he pays for this as rupees 100 per share. So by paying rupees 100 per share right now to Mr. B, Mr. A has an option that after 1 month Mr. A can purchase the Reliance share from at rupees 2100. This is what you mean by a typical an option. That means Mr. A is actually buying an option, and because he has a right to buy, this type of option is called as a call option. Whereas Mr. B is selling an option, and if Mr. B is selling an option, which means he is taking the risk from Mr. A, and Mr. A is therefore paying certain premium to Mr. B. Now how does it work? So as I mentioned, if you have an option to buy an asset, it's called a call option. So this example which I've just taken, where Mr. A has purchased an call option from Mr. B. That means he has a right to buy the Reliance share after 1 month at a price of rupees 2100. He could have also bought an option where he is buying a right to sell a particular asset at a particular exercise price, and that option is called as a put option. So if a buyer buys an option in which he has a right to buy something, that option is called as a call option. If a buyer buys an option in which he has a right to sell something at a predetermined price, that option is called as a put option. Mind you, the buyer has a choice whether the buyer will exercise the option or he will not exercise the option. That choice rests on the buyer. Seller, however, do not have a choice. Seller, if the buyer exercises the option, seller has to oblige it. Seller cannot go back. So the choice is always with the buyer, whether the buyer wants to buy a particular asset, whether a buyer wants to sell a particular asset. But if the buyer exercises the option, the seller doesn't have a choice. The choice always rests with the buyer, and that's the reason why the buyer pays a premium to the seller. Now let's move ahead and we'll discuss in detail how does it exactly work. Any derivative contracts, we know derivatives broadly consist of three major contract, which is futures or forwards, options and swap. So any derivative contracts per se, we are discussing at present about the option, have 4 or 5 characteristics. First is an asset. So in a previous example, we have taken Reliance share is as an asset. So that's an underlying asset. Due derivatives, the word means that is the value of this derivative instrument is derived from certain asset. So a certain asset must exist. Only then the derivative instrument will come. So in our example, we are saying Reliance Industries Limited share is an underlying asset. Then you describe the size. So it can be 1 lot or 2 lots. So every exchange in the option, they describe the lot. So there's a size given. I cannot in most of the exchanges, I cannot go and buy one option contract. It's not possible. So there's a lot size is given, and each lot size can have 75 or 100 based upon the exchange. And then there's a price. So we have, in a previous example, we have showed that I have bought the Reliance call option after 1 month, and therefore date has to be specified. So there has to be an expiry date. So maybe date can be, let's assume let's say 30th May. Again, in each exchange the dates are specified 30th May. So on 30th May, today, let's assume today is we are sitting today on 17th April, and this contract has been purchased, and therefore each option contract has an expiry. So we are saying 30th May 2021. So today is 17th April 2021. This option has been purchased to be expired on 30th May 2021. And a buyer has this option to buy Reliance share at a price which is fixed, which is at rupees 2100. So there is an underlying asset, which is Reliance share. There's a size, there's a lot given, there's a price, predetermined price is given. This is called as an exercise price. This is called as exercise price, also referred as strike price. Then there is a specified date, and eventually on this date the settlement will happen. Generally, financial derivatives are cash settled. That means whatever gain and loss is settled. It may happen that in some commodities market in derivative segment, a delivery wise also settlement may take place. But otherwise, in most of the financial derivative contracts, the settlement happens through a cash only. So what is netting happens, and whatever gain and loss happens to either parties, that is set off. But these are predefined. So this is a specification of any derivative contract. So going further example, as I mentioned, we'll discuss first the call option. So again, I'll take an example of the same example which we are continuing. Today is 17th April and the Reliance 2021, and let's assume Reliance current price is rupees 2000, and Mr. A has purchased a call option call option expiring on 30th May 2021 at exercise price, let's assume at rupees 2100. Now what does this mean? Mr. A has purchased a right to buy a share at rupees 2100. Now different situations can happen. Mr. A has purchased call option because he was feeling that the Reliance price may go up. That's the reason why he is trying to book the Reliance price right now. Now what may happen? For example, on 30th May, if assuming the Reliance price goes to rupees 2500. So if the Reliance price goes to 2500, Mr. A already has the call option in which he can buy Reliance at rupees 2100. So what should he do? Logically, he will exercise the option. He will exercise the option and eventually he will have a payoff of rupees 400 positive. He will have a gain of rupees 400 because in the market the Reliance share price is rupees 2500, but he has purchased the call option. Call option is right to buy. So he has purchased a call option which is right to buy at rupees 2100. If the Reliance price in the market is 2500, Mr. A definitely would like to exercise this call option, right? So and by doing so, he will gain rupees 400. So quite logical. This call option, this exercise price is denoted by K, and this is the spot price at any given point of time, and therefore a person is quite logically will exercise the call option. When he will exercise the call option? When the price ST is more than the exercise price K. As in this case, 2500 rupees is more than 2100 rupees. Therefore, the person will exercise the call option. It makes sense to exercise the call option. However, if the second case, if the Reliance share price goes down to, let's assume, rupees 1600. Now, what was Mr. A thinking? Mr. A was thinking that Reliance price will go up. That's the reason why he has blocked this call option. But the Reliance price has gone down to 1600. Will he be buying Reliance share from the market, or will he be using this option? Logical, there's no rocket science involved. This person will not exercise the call option. He has a choice. He will not exercise the call option, and therefore he will not be gaining anything from this contract. And if he wants to buy Reliance share, he can buy from the market itself. And therefore, in this case, the person will not exercise the call option. When he will not exercise the call option? When the price prevailing at any given point of time is less than the exercise price. So if it is less than the exercise price, 1600 rupees is less than the exercise price, a person will not use the option because he can buy the stock at that price itself. And therefore, he will gain nothing from this buying the option contract, and his payoff from this contract will be zero. So in the previous case, the payoff was plus 400. In this case, the payoff is zero. Whereas in the third case, if the Reliance share price is 2100 rupees. Now in this case also, it doesn't make a sense. It doesn't make a sense whether you exercise a contract or do not exercise the contract. Clear? And therefore the value remains the same. So it doesn't make a sense at all. So there can be three situations as I mentioned. Either the share at expiration is more than the exercise price, and in that sense it makes sense to exercise the option and you will have a positive payoff, or the share price at expiration is less than the exercise price. At that sense, it doesn't make sense to exercise your option, and therefore the payoff from that contract will be zero. So, and mind you, there's another party. Mr. A has purchased the call option, and there is Mr. B who has sold the call option. Now, if the Mr. A exercises the call option, Mr. B is obliged. So Mr. B is a writer. He is obliged. He can't go back. He has to honor this commitment. However, if Mr. A doesn't exercise the contract, then in that case, Mr. B will have the premium gain. Quite obvious, as I mentioned, when Mr. A has purchased this contract, he has also paid certain premium to Mr. B. Right? So if Mr. A payoff start becoming positive, then in that case Mr. B's payoff will start becoming negative. So that is the because both have the different position. One, Mr. A was bullish about the market. That's the reason why he has purchased the call option. Mr. B was bearish about the call option, about the market, about the Reliance share, and that's the reason why he sold the call option. And moving further, now the options are also categorized in two ways. As I mentioned, there's an expiry date. So if the option can be exercised only at the end, then those kind of option are called as a European option. Mind you, so Mr. A has purchased Reliance 2100 rupees call option for expiry on 30th May. So Mr. A will only go to Mr. B only on 30th May. He will only exercise this option on 30th May. He cannot exercise it before it. Those kind of options are called as European option. Whereas if Mr. A exercises the option any time from today's date till the expiry date, those options are called as an American option. Obvious, it's logical, since American option is giving you flexibility. Generally the premiums of American options are higher. So premium of American options are more than premium of European option. So that is important. Now again I'm saying it means Mr. A can only exercise the option on the expiry date. That does not mean that Mr. A cannot sell his right to someone else. So that can be, and that is what actually happens in the market, which is Mr. N can trade on his right of call option. Trade on his right of call option. So that Mr. A can do anything at any time, but option Mr. A can only exercise if it is European option only at the expiry date. Whereas if it is an American option, that can be exercised at any given point of time. So let's understand this entire calculation by taking an example. So we'll come to the Excel sheet here and we'll try to understand how the entire mechanics work. So I'm taking an example. If the exercise price, we have taken 2100. So let us take the exercise price 2100 and we will look at this, how it will work. And now if you see, so Mr. A has, buyer of the call option has purchased this call option, which is a strike price of rupees 2100, and he has paid a premium of rupees 120. So let us see how the things will shape up for both the buyer of a call option, and also if a person sells the call option, which is also called buying a call option, also referred going long on the call, and is selling a call also means shorting on the call. So if the price of the stock is 1500, now what should a buyer of a call option should do? He has got a right to buy the stock at 2100 rupees, whereas in the market the price is 1500 rupees. Quite obvious, he will not exercise the option, and therefore the payoff in this case will be zero. So as long as this price is less than this price, so you can see the formula here, as long as this price, that's the spot price at given point of time, is less than the exercise price, the buyer will not exercise the call option, and therefore he will not have any payoff from this contract. But he has paid the premium. So overall in this contract he will have a loss of rupees 120, which is a premium itself. If I increase to 1600 rupees, what will happen? The same thing. I will still not exercise my call option, because again this price is less than 2100 rupees. Why should I exercise my call option? And therefore again my payoff is zero. My profit and loss is, in this case, will be minus 120. And mind you, let's also keep on looking what is happening to the person who has sold the call option. Now since the option has not been exercised, the payoff remains zero, but the seller will gain the premium because he has already got the premium, right? The payoff for the writer is always zero, that he doesn't get any payoff. The writer only have a premium income. So he will have a premium income because this option has not been exercised. So the person who has wrote the call, who was the writer of the call, will gain rupees 120. Let's assume it comes to 2000 rupees. Again, the buyer of a call option will not exercise the call option because he has a right to buy at 2100 rupees, whereas the price at present is 2000 rupees. So he will again not exercise the call option. So again, in this case, the call option will not be exercised. So when will the call option exercise starts? It starts, you can see here, at 2100 rupees. So you can see till 2000, till level 2000, it was not making sense for a buyer of a call option to exercise the call option. At 2100 rupees, whether he exercise the call option, he doesn't exercise the call option, it doesn't make a sense. But even then he will end up losing 120 rupees as a form of a premium. At 2200 rupees, if the price reaches to 2200 rupees, now he will definitely exercise the call option because he has a right to buy at 2100 rupees, whereas in the market it is at 2100, and therefore he will exercise the call option at 2200 rupees. He will have a positive payoff. How I've computed the payoff? 2200 rupees is the price, whereas the exercise price is 2100 rupees. So 2200 minus the exercise price, S minus E. So as I mentioned, the gain which happens to the call option buyer, is either the payoff is 0 or it is S minus K. So as soon as the S starts increasing, as soon as the S crosses the K, the payoff becomes positive. So 100 rupees positive payoffs has come here, but he has paid a premium of 120 rupees. So still overall he's having a loss of 20 rupees. At 2300 rupees, he has a payoff of 200 positive. He has paid a premium of rupees 120, so end up getting a gain of 80 rupees. At 2500 rupees, if the Reliance stock goes 2500 rupees, and that was he was thinking for, that's the reason why he's purchased the call option. His payoff is 400. Why is he payoff 400? The current spot price is 2500 rupees. Exercise price was 2100 rupees. It's a payoff of 400 rupees. He has paid a premium of rupees 120, and therefore he has a net gain of 280 rupees. So this is how the buying call option look like. The payoff, and you can see as the graph also, from the graph itself we can see the payoff denoted by blue line. Payoff of the buyer of a call option can never be less than 0. These are the 0 values which he has not exercised the call option. These are the values till here in this entire process he has not exercised the call option, and now he has started exercising the call option, and therefore he has unlimited payoff. So as the higher the price is going, the more the payoff will increase. The profit and loss will be fallen by the amount of premium he has paid. So till you can see here, till at this level 2100 rupees, his loss is minus 120. At 2200 rupees also here loss of minus 20 rupees. Now if I just change to, just for the benefit, 2020, if I do here, look at this is loss has become 0. So the break even point for a buyer of a call option, this number is basically referred as a break even point. So you can see here at the 2020, as once the stock reaches 2220, this is the break even point. So for a buyer of a call option to start making money, the stock price must go above 2220. Here his payoff became positive after 2100 rupees, but he's still not making money because he has paid 120 as a premium. After this, as soon as the stock breaches this level to 2220, you can see at 2220 the stock is reaching at 0.0 level, that is profit and loss has become 0. The y-axis is given by profit and loss. Thereafter you can see this 0 profit and loss, and thereafter as the price is increasing, the profit and loss is increasing. So this is the payoff and the profitability of the call option, a buyer of a call option. Now I can also look what is the situation for the person who has short the call option, that is he's selling the call option. The position is totally reverse. As long The payoffs, the first of all, the writer doesn't have a positive payoff. Writer, the payoff, minimum payoff writer is 0, and the profit and loss, the writer maximum makes premium as the maximum income, but he will have unlimited loss. As you can see here, if the profits, if the stock starts going up, his losses starts increasing. So his payoff becoming negative, but his losses starts increasing. So if the more the stock will increase, the more the loss of the writer will increase. And you can see here in the payoff, as you can see, the maximum which the money which the writer of a call can make is the premium. The payoff can never be positive. The payoff can be 0. It is at that point when the buyer has not exercised the call option. But if the seller of the call, if the stock starts going up, because this is his contrarian, he thought that the stock will fall down. That's the reason why he has shorted the call. But if the stock starts going up and up, then this person will start losing the money. So this is about what option is and how the call option buyer, long call and short call works. In the subsequent session, we'll discuss about the put option and the other derivatives, other option strategies. Thank you very much.